still trying to go through.
A major storm system that thrashed through southern Manitoba this week is now confirmed to have spawned 2 tornadoes, while several other reports remain under investigation. One tornado, about 30 kilometers southeast of Winnipeg, near St. Anne, was confirmed by Environment Canada on Wednesday morning. The other, east of Morris near Dufrost, about 50 kilometers south of Winnipeg, was confirmed later in the day. The storms left a trail of destruction that included floods, downed power lines and trees, and thousands of damaged vehicles from hailstones that ranged in size from nickels to tennis balls in Winnipeg, and as big as baseballs in some rural areas. Maria Campos, a vice president at Manitoba Public Insurance, said nearly 11,000 claims for damaged vehicles had been made as of 5 p.m. Wednesday, and we expect that continue to climb today as well. It is likely to be the Crown Corporation's largest ever claim event, surpassing the 2023 hailstorm that brought in just shy of 16,000 claims and cost MPY roughly $140 million. Campos didn't yet have a breakdown as to how many of the claims from Tuesday's storm are from Winnipeg versus rural areas, or a breakdown of the cause of damage: hail, trees, limbs, or water on flooded streets. Campos is asking the public for a bit of grace as MPI deals with the deluge of claims. We are looking at centralizing a hail center in order to meet customer demand, and we will get back to folks as soon as we possibly can. It's all hands on deck. Meanwhile, Manitoba Hydro is making pretty great progress in restoring power to the 32,000 customers initially impacted by power outages, said spokesperson Peter Chura. This is probably the worst summer storm impact that certainly we can think of in recent memory, just in terms of the sheer number of outages, he said. About 1,400 Winnipeg customers remained without electricity as of Thursday morning, down from 20,000. And that's despite that sort of bonus round of thunderstorms we had last night that slowed some things down. Those still in the dark in Winnipeg are in the West End, North Kildonan, and the Maginot area of St. Boniface, Chura said. About 2,000 customers in other parts of the province are still facing outages, as crews are having difficulty reaching some areas due to washed-out roads, he said. In Minitonas, in western Manitoba, the flooding from a weekend storm was so bad that some people remain without power because the electrical panels in their homes were damaged. But we're working with the homeowners today to try to get the power back on, Chura said. Hydro's hope is to have the lights back on for everyone inside and outside of Winnipeg by the end of Thursday. Winnipegger Dan Leonard has been living without power in his West End home since 5 p.m. Tuesday. He's also living with a flooded basement that smells like mold and sewage, and he can't do anything about it without electricity to run a pump. I'm worried about my kids and what they're breathing, and what the long-term damage is. Certainly there's going to be cost associated with all of these things, he said. His situation also means all of his refrigerated food went bad and had to be thrown out, and he has no hot water. Leonard was also in the process of renovating his basement, and had just put up new drywall on Monday. That will need to get ripped out again. So I don't know if it's covered by insurance or not, he said. Just not the best. But his bigger worry, he said, is for the broader West End area and those who don't have the means to face the stresses and struggles the storm has wrought. It's a very mixed income neighborhood, and there's a lot of people who don't necessarily have the financial means to cover all the damage in their basement, he said. Throwing out a fridge full of food and buying it again is also expensive, said Leonard, adding one neighbor is going through the lengthy outage with a newborn. He recognizes Hydro is stretched thin dealing with outages, and he's trying to have compassion, but that is also wearing thin, he said. Microbiologist Jason Tetro, author of the book The Germ Files, cautions people to be extremely careful around basements backed up with raw sewage. If it's coming up through the sewers, then you're dealing with absolutely all the human microbiological waste, he said. I hate saying this, but it's the absolute truth. You have a petri dish where you used to live. The first instinct might be to rush in to save things, but Tetro says that's a bad idea. It takes a very short time for mold and concentrations of bacteria to grow in that warm, humid environment. Initially, the waters may pose a gastrointestinal problem, but as things get more and more concentrated because it's growing, now you're going to have skin problems, eye problems, respiratory problems, he said. If you're going to make an attempt at cleaning anything, get proper protection to cover your arms, legs, and feet, and wear an N95 mask and goggles, he said. But at the end of the day, when it comes to finally getting it to a point where you can live in it again, you're really going to need professionals. A bucket of bleach is not going to help you. This week's storm started south of Emerson in the U.S. and moved north through Manitoba, cutting a swath up the Red River Valley and into the southern Interlake. It drowned Stonewall just north of Winnipeg with 255 millimeters of rain, while Petersfield and Clandeboye, both northeast of Stonewall, were soaked with 229 and 220 millimeters respectively. Winnipeg saw 122 millimeters and many other weather stations in the south in the range of 50 to 100, with dozens more getting up to 50 millimeters. Winds clocked in at 130 kilometers per hour in the Deloraine area, near the Saskatchewan border, while gusts in excess of 100 kilometers per hour were reported in several places, and Winnipeg seeing a peak of 94 kilometers per hour. There were numerous tornado reports in the valley and surrounding region, but so far just the two have been confirmed. Numerous funnel clouds were also reported, Environment Canada said. A Manitoba community is filling sandbags to help homes and businesses after it experienced significant flooding from a rainstorm on Monday morning. The Town of Swan River in western Manitoba said in a post late Monday it was asking for volunteers to help. Swan River's industrial park and the south end of town are among the areas the town is focusing on for sandbags. The town said in a post the south end saw significant flooding from east of the community. Premier Wab Canoe said he had been informed by Swan River Mayor Lance Jacobson that the community had declared a state of emergency. Whatever resources are needed will be deployed, Canoe told reporters. Emergency measures staff are in the region to oversee the response, Canoe said, as well as Office of the Fire Commissioner vehicles to assist in water rescues. Rick Wowchuk, the progressive conservative MLA for Swan River, told 680CJOB on Tuesday the water has dropped a wee bit, with the water receding in some parts, but other areas are seeing more flooding crop up. This was just all due to the overflow of Tamarack Creek, which got all its water in from the Roaring River, he said. RCMP, firefighters, volunteers, and conservation officers are sandbagging to save homes and buildings from flood damage. Transportation and infrastructure officials are also on site near Tamarack Creek to determine how water could be pumped out or have it move more quickly to bring water levels down, the premier said. Jacobson said they're waiting for Ministry of Transportation and Infrastructure officials to cut open the highway at the east entrance of the town to release pressure off the creek and take some pressure off the water coming into town. Environment Canada told Global News another weather system is expected to make its way through southern Manitoba overnight, Tuesday, with wind, rain, and hail possible. According to the province, the system could bring significant rainfall to much of western, southern, and eastern parts of Manitoba. The Parkland and Whiteshell Lakes area could see up to 70 millimeters of rain. A flood warning remains in effect for western Manitoba, including the Parkland region. An overland flood watch has also been issued for parts of the province's western, central, and southeastern areas, excluding those already in the flood warning. The Swan River mayor said he's hopeful the rain will miss his community. We've had so much moisture that, moisture just creates more rain, and so I'm hoping they'll miss us, he said. While Swan River is dealing with flooding from the storm, other communities in western Manitoba are without power from Saturday and Sunday storms. Meanwhile, help is on the way for communities in the Swan Valley region that were recently hit by heavy rains, the Manitoba government says. Staff are being mobilized to help communities and complete initial damage assessments of provincial highway and water infrastructure, A government spokesperson told CBC News in a statement shortly before 6 p.m. Monday. Up to 150 people were forced out of their homes after flash floods in Swan Valley, which Environment and Climate Change Canada said got about 72 millimetres of rain in only a few hours Sunday night. Manitoba Infrastructure Minister Lisa Naylor says emergency management is working with municipalities to ensure food is distributed to people displaced. There are a couple of folks who are choosing to stay in their homes at this time, but they're in touch with local authorities and they believe that they're safe. And so evacuation isn't the concern at this moment. Naylor couldn't say where people who left their homes are staying, saying emergency management is sorting through all the logistics with local leadership. Some homes in Swan Valley West are now being sandbagged, Naylor's office told CBC News around 9 p.m. The province's Hydrologic Forecast Center has predicted more precipitation in the region in the next couple days, she said. If the roads are too damaged to distribute food, the province might consider dropping it into impacted communities via helicopter, Naylor said. The situation continues to unfold, and the province's response might change by the hour as water continues to flow into the community, the minister said. We will look for solutions, and we're going to make sure that the folks in our community have what they need. The municipality of Minitonas Bozeman, which neighbors Swan Valley West, declared a state of local emergency in the aftermath of the flood. Rob Tomlinson, superintendent of Swan Valley School Division, says the school in Minitonas is dry, but staff described it as an island. Tomlinson says most of the division's school buses were canceled for Tuesday and are likely to remain canceled for the rest of the week. We're going to play it day by day, he told CBC News on Monday evening. A 62-year-old farmer who made a dramatic rescue in the middle of the night says rushing waters washed out his front yard. Ian McKay, who lives on a farm near the West Swan River, north of Minitonas, used a hydraulic excavator to rescue his wife from their home around 3 a.m. Monday after the water tore a chasm in their yard, he says. The river was 12 feet wide when I left home at 6 p.m., and when I got home at 3 in the morning, it was 900 feet wide, he told CBC News on Monday night. She came out in her boots, and the water was about a foot deep, and she jumped up on the track and got onto the machine and rode on the side of the machine, and I drove it back. Parkland region flooding. Some residents of the municipalities of Swan Valley West and Minitonas Bozeman have been forced out of their homes in the aftermath of heavy rains over the weekend.